Hello and welcome back to Webcast News, and welcome back to Top 10 Wednesday, where this week I'm going to look at the top 10 strangest phobias. So I do kind of hope that none of you actually have any of these, because that would kind of get awkward. Now, chronophobia is the fear of time passing, which is a bit of a strange one because nobody can stop time. So you just basically have to live with it. And apparently it's most commonly found in prison inmates and the elderly because, well, they probably have less to live for and less time to live than anyone else, I guess, which is quite depressing, really. Now, vertigo is actually quite a common one, so you might be wondering why it's actually on this list. But a misconception of vertigo is that it is the fear of heights, which it kind of is, but it is actually the fear of falling from a great height. And the weirdest part about vertigo is that people who suffer from it and actually go to a high height will then have the urge to jump off if they look over the edge, even though that's their fear. Ibophobia is the fear of palindrome words. So they are words that are spelt the same forwards and backwards. So for example, mum or dad. Although this one kind of doesn't really fit in with these because it's actually not real. Because it was actually created by computer people in the 1980s. See if you can work out how they actually managed to do it. I'll give you a clue. Read the word. Omphalophobia is one of the weirdest ones on here because it is the fear of belly buttons, and we pretty much all have one. But I suppose, that's what shirts were made for. So there you go, people with this phobia. Shirts are your friend. Ah, boy. I'm not even going to try and say this one. You can read it on the bit before I start talking again, if you want to check the word out again and try and read it yourself. But this, ironically, is the fear of long words. And the only reason I think they put the word monstrous in there is because you go hippopotamonja if you have that fear. As you can probably tell from the two words before the word aphobia, descend and ascend, it is the fear of going up or down stairs or inclines, which is a bit of an awkward one because inclines are all over the place and you probably have stairs in your house, so people with this will literally have to live in a bungalow. Nomophobia is such a first world problem because it is the fear of not having your mobile phone with you. What makes this worse is that according to researchers about 3 years ago, 50% of the UK actually suffered from nomophobia. Arachibutyrophobia, I think that's about close enough, is probably the weirdest fear on here. It is the fear of having peanut butter stick to the roof of your mouth. If you have this fear, don't eat peanut butter. This actually has an interesting origin because it was actually originated in the Peanuts comic strip where they first invented this, and pop culture nowadays, with peanut butter being such a popular food object, has actually made this a thing now. Yes, as you can probably tell from the title of this one, there is a phobia of phobias, which is just the stupidest thing. So, if you have a fear of having a phobia, you have a phobia. So you're just in a huge loop that's just never going to end unless you can actually get out of it. And maybe not the strangest phobia, but the number one on this list is panphobia, or otherwise known as omniphobia, which is the fear of absolutely everything. Now when you actually look into this, it's kind of depressing, because it's described as consistently dreading some vague and persistent unknown evil, which is actually horrible. So on that almost down note from this video, I guess, that is it for this top 10 countdown. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for all the other news videos and top 10 Wednesdays as well. And as always, thanks for watching.